All right. And what this points to, what this message points to, is that what apparently happens, is just whole and complete. It's everything in that sense. There is no deeper or hidden reality. There is nothing else to be found. There isn't there isn't a separate reality that is more valuable, so to speak. That's what the person hopes, that there is a deeper reality, an absolute reality, or that what happens carries meaning or is important, or stuff like that. But that's dreamt. What happens is exactly itself, and by being so, it's whole and complete. There isn't any additional or hidden reality. The idea that there is comes from an illusion, and the illusion is I am, so to speak. I am something. The experience to be something that is present. In a way, the person is a hidden reality. In a way, the person itself feels as if it's extra, as if it's something that's kind of hidden, but that is also there. So all its ideas about there being an absolute hidden reality, a God or a source or something, is actually a projection that comes from its own experience. Because its own experience is I'm there, but but no one sees me. So, so this idea of there being a stable, continuous reality is coming from the personal experience, because that's exactly how the person experiences itself. I exist. I am something that is real, stable, continuously happening. I exist. So that's the dream. There isn't anyone. No one has to be achieved. Nothing is lost. This whole impression of I've lost something and I have to regain paradise or something belongs to the same dream. It's all part of the dream. So there's no teaching, there's no path, there are no steps and all those things. There's just what apparently happens. Timeless, spaceless, whole and complete. So anyone is welcome to say something or write something or not say something. Yes, please.
Hi, Andreas.
Hello.
This is my first non-duality meeting, so I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I'm asking the right things.
Oh, well.
Okay, so since the last 2 weeks or so, or maybe a month, I've been having this like very intense fear for no reason. Um, like it's so strong that sometimes I couldn't do anything, like I would just lie in bed. But then slowly I started praying and thinking about all, like, who's feeling this, doing everything to get rid of it. And somehow I feel I've masked it, but I don't know why is this happening to me? So I just wanted to ask you about that.
Okay, but well, I've no idea why this is happening. It just is what seems to be happening. And of course, it's exactly that which asks the question, why is this happening to me? That doesn't have any real substance. This I isn't real. So there's no answer to this. That's about it, I guess.
So should I just, I mean, I know there is no I experiencing it. So there is that part of me that wants to resolve it. So should I let it try and resolve it? Or, I mean, there's no control there, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's no control, really. I mean, I would say it's all the same thing. The one that is scared of death, the one that wants to resolve it, the one that's somehow trying to work it out. It's all the same me, so to speak. Apparently.
So nothing to be done, just experience everything.
Yeah, well, Even that's an answer too much. No, there's absolutely no answer to this. There's no answer to this. All of this is what seems to be happening. And there is no real you in you. And there is no real you in that whole situation. So, but yes, nothing needs to be done. Yeah, that's true.
Thank
Die.
you.
Maybe you could just die or something.
I think I'm more afraid of losing my loved ones than I feel like I'm scared something's gonna happen to them, and I don't know, that's my fear.
Yeah, fear, there's just some fear. You don't really know what the fear is about. It could attach to any story, what you're afraid of. It's just this underlying sense that something really bad can happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even know what it is, but that's just part of the fear. If it's not really conscious, but the idea is when I die, something really bad will happen. That's just how it feels. There's something that's not allowed to happen. One could also put it around there, around in that way. So whenever there's death around, there's also this assumption that there is something really bad that's going to happen, and that's not allowed. And this feeling can attach itself to any story. Maybe it's not my own death. It's that, as you said, my loved ones, or a completely different story. But that's just how it feels. Don't go there. That's what the me says. Oh, there's fear, there's death, there's fear of death. And the person just says, oh, this is not allowed. Don't go there.
So the fear is like it's just also part of my own projection.
Well, I guess, well, I don't say that it doesn't happen, but yes, yeah, the fear of death is part of that which dreams to be alive. So yeah, that's what I mean. It's somehow one bundle. The whole thing that you're describing is one bundle. The sense of I, the fear of death, the need to find an answer to it. That's how I see it. I've no idea, you know. But it's just what came up here.
Thank you.
Thanks. But I don't think that this shouldn't happen. I mean, all of that is what happens, and it's perfectly whole and complete. There's no need to make anything go away. So. Just apparently pointing out that the fear of death happens for an illusion, that there is no one alive who could actually die. But this is also not an attempt to make it go away in that sense. It's just not real.
So is that something that we should, I mean, that we could repeat to ourselves? Like this is not real.
No, please not.
Okay.
Because then you would give yourself, again, much more reality than you have. Because then you think you would really need to repeat those sentences again to find relief. But that's not no one needs that relief. So no, please don't repeat those sentences. Yes, please. But you have to turn on your microphone. I can't hear you. Yeah, I think yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, kept sliding away. Yeah. Hi, Andreas.
Hi. Hello.
Hi. I said I'm looking forward to seeing you in New York. I hope.
Oh wow!
I get there. Yeah. Thanksgiving it is, on Thanksgiving, right? Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
we probably don't even know when Thanksgiving is. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to ask you, what do you think about meditation?
Well, not much actually. I don't. I just have to remember what is meant with meditation. No, it doesn't matter. It's not good, not bad. I mean, what is it anyway? Sitting down and so.
Just okay.
Yeah, really, it's an idea. It's an idea of the person that you can do something like meditate. Becoming calm, getting calm or something, having a break from one story. I mean, it's neither right nor wrong, but my impression is that for the person, it's an idea and another thing that you can do or you should do that somehow supports one's life. And that's the dream, that there is someone, and that this someone has a life, and that there are good things to do and bad things to do. Of course, always for me being a happy me, but so sitting down might happen and falling asleep might happen, but there's no one doing meditation or stuff like that. So,
but it's like just like anything else that the apparent, I don't know, person or whatever however you say it. Well, there's nobody. Well, it's like anything else that you would do to make you feel good, like you eat a chocolate bun or something. You understand what that, like, you know, just the apparent person feels better.
Yes, at least that's the reason why the person would do it. Exactly. In the person's dream, that's what I mean. In its dream, it's just another thing that I need to do, or that I can do. And usually it's somehow combined to an inner position. So being present or something, to not be distracted or to not get lost in the story. And of course, this can feel nice. There's absolutely nothing wrong about this. Of course, for the person, or it can absolutely feel nice to not go around and think and solve tasks and stuff. And of course, it's a way to relax. The thing is that the person just stays the person. There's just no connection really to what we speak about here. But as I say, this body also sometimes rests, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm not meditating then, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
There is no I really that brings itself in certain positions.
Mm. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. And Joey asks, would you say it reinforces the sense of I? Well, not especially, but of course, everything the me does is reinforcing itself, so to speak, apparently. And also meditation, of course. But as I said, it's not the sitting down and doing nothing, but the I would reinforce itself with the idea that there is someone who can do that, or that has an idea of meditation. That's what I mean. When this body sits down and relaxes or doesn't do anything, there is no idea of this being a special state or being meditation. It's just what apparently happens, the body having a break from being active, but there's nothing to it. It's also not something deeper or stuff like that. So in that sense, there is no such thing as meditation at all. That's what I meant. And my impression is that it's just an idea that the person carries around, that there is something like that, that it's a state that it can go into. So, and of course, by telling itself this story and living in that story, it apparently reinforces itself. Yes. There's absolutely no need to sit down and stare at a wall or learn the lotus seed or something. There's nothing to that. Maybe the suppression of sense perception gives the I a sense of control. Yes, the I is the sense of control, and whatever it believes to do seems to reinforce that. And of course, that's what many people assume liberation to be, or fulfillment to be, a state of perfect control. And of course, there are some spiritual traits, I don't know, some spiritual people who say that you need to learn to control anything, like your every thought, every feeling, the senses, or that you have to retract your attention from everything else in order to be completely free. But still, there's no connection to this. It would be just a perfect me. That's in the end where the me hopes for the answer to become a perfect me. So it lives in the idea of control. So it thinks maybe I'm free if I have perfect control. That's what usually all teachings are about, to become the perfect me. reinforcement sounds like cause and effect. Well, I know, yes. That's why I say it's apparent. And it's funny, you can't really describe it because it's not only meant as a process, like a reinforcement as a process. It's somehow all instantaneous. The moment there is the sense of me, there is the sense of being active, and the sense of being active somehow confirms that there is a real me. Instantaneously, you don't have to even regard it as a process in time. That's the miracle. The sense of I am is already the confirmation of itself in a very weird way. You know, that's just a description. It's a story, of course. And of course, no one is doing it. So I understand reinforcing is maybe not the right word, but the sense to be is the sense of existence. That's just how it feels. And by feeling in that way, it confirms itself. And by being active and by apparently being able to create results and stuff like that. Of course, none of that is really happening, but that's just how the dream feels. And that's why apparently only, of course, everything the me does apparently is an apparent reinforcement of itself. Absolutely. Nothing the me does apparently leads to less me. But that's exactly the opposite to what the me thinks. That's why it's somehow kind of interesting to point it out, because the me thinks I need to be active, I need to be there and do something in order to become fulfilled. And in some spiritual circles, becoming fulfilled would mean to lose the I. So the me just would think, I need to do something in order to lose the I. And that's just part of the dream. Question, can past triggers stop suddenly? Oh yes, of course, that's possible, but they don't have to stop. There's no need for anything. So past triggers don't have to stop, but of course they also can stop instantly for no reason at all. Yes, can just be wiped out of the system. Maybe meditation is a popular method of creating a better future meanness. Well, yes, I think that's the hope. I think that's what spiritual teachers promise since hundreds of years. That there'll be a better future if everyone would meditate. I mean, as I said, there's nothing wrong with meditation. And what it does offer, apparently, is a break from thinking. And of course, that is relaxing. And yeah, there's just no one there, really. I mean, one of the me's favorite conclusion from those meetings is, well, if nothing matters, I can just go on seeking, which of course is true, but it's not really what's being said here. What's being said here is that there is no one. And the me turns it into, well, then I can go on meditating every day. Then I can go on desperately seeking. Then I can go on following a guru. Of course, you can go on following a guru. Well, no one would do that. But what's being said here is, hello, there is no one. No one is doing anything. It's all part of a dream. Yes, Ian.
So there's no one to let go of the agenda either.
Yes, I know.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So even if you're thinking there's a better method to be a better me through non-duality, it's still the same game, right?
Absolutely. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, I'm not talking to anyone. It's just what the me is actually wanting to hear. Oh yes, I'm fine. My path is okay. I'm allowed to seek. That's perfect. I can just go on being me. Which is true, of course. But there is no one really. But again, the me then apparently would use this message again to confirm itself. If nothing matters, I'm allowed to be a seeker. Whew. Yes, please.
So if everything is already whole and perfect,
Yes.
and there is also the illusion, which is anyway an illusion, so the illusion is also perfect.
Yes, oh, totally, of course. Yeah.
But how can the illusion be perfect?
Well, I've no idea how this is possible. It's a surprise and it doesn't make sense. Well, one could also say the illusion is perfect because it's the same wholeness. It's equally what apparently happens, and you can't even call it a real illusion. I mean, that's part of the freedom that we talk about here, that there is nothing real and that there is no real illusion either. And there is no one sitting in the illusion. There isn't an illusion happening to someone who has a disadvantage from that. This I is dreamt. In the illusion as well as in liberation, there is no one. But there is no answer to how this can be perfect or why this is perfect. It doesn't make sense. Sitting in front of a screen, talking to Andreas doesn't make sense. Yet it is what apparently happens, and it's whole and complete.
So perfect doesn't mean good, it means whole and complete, right?
Yes, one could say so, yes. It's not good, it has nothing to do with the goodness that the person dreams about. It's very neutral. Whole and complete is very neutral. It's alive and total, but also empty and meaningless. It's a very neutral good. What the person is looking for is this feeling of goodness. When I can see that it's good, that's not needed. That's again part of the freedom, that what happens doesn't need to be good or doesn't need to feel good for anyone. It's much more ordinary. Harmony, wholeness. Because it's this. It doesn't need to be recognized as good. That could be another way of putting it. The person thinks it's only good when I recognize its goodness, when I can confirm that it's good by feeling good or by feeling pleasant or by somehow saying and recognizing it. And this wish is okay, but it's part of a nice dream. And what happens exactly as it is will never be recognized as good. There will always be the question of how can this be okay? And the person will always find something where it will say, well, no, that's not, this can't be good. An illusion, how can an illusion be good? How can violence be good or whatever? The person will always come up with something which it can't understand, because this being whole and complete, exactly as it is incomprehensible, because it's unconditional. Yes, Laura wrote in the chat, trying to get rid of the illusion is part of the illusion. Yes, exactly. So there is no illusion here. There's just what happens. All of it is just what happens. Every thought, every feeling, every impression. There is no illusion in terms of that there is a true reality. I mean, for the person, when we talk about illusion, it seems as if there has to be something that's real or true. Again, that's a duality in which the person operates. When I get rid of the illusion, there will be the truth or something. But no, both things don't exist as such. There's just what happens. And yes, it's not real, it's not really real, but on the other hand, there is no other reality which is more real. There's just this being exactly as it is. Okay, what is apparently happening is not good or bad for anyone, though. Yes, one could say so. Yes, yeah. I mean, for the person which experiences itself as separate, there's always the question, is this good or bad for me? Meaning, does this give me something or not? Does this give me fulfillment? Does this have any value for me on my path or not? And if it seems to have value for me, it's regarded as good. And if it seems to take away from my fulfillment, it's regarded as bad. Everything, what it experiences, the person judges instantly. Every moment it's aware of something, it tries to find out if is this good or bad. Does this support me on my path towards fulfillment or not? Is this meeting good or bad? Is it good that I'm here or not? The person would say, as long as there is the hope that this supports me on my path, it's good that I'm here. And the moment the person thinks, what, this doesn't help me at all being here, it thinks it's bad. And yeah, but that's the dream, that there is a me that is separate from what happens, that there is a me that finds itself in situations, in circumstances, and that those circumstances can give or take away something. That's the dream. What does this do to me is the dream. That's why everything is naturally neutral, or the other way around. The sense of good or bad is just added from the person. Apparently, of course. Oh, Elitio writes, your meetings are like a perverse meditation. Well, I take this as a compliment. Wasn't sure about meditation, but okay, but then there is also the spontaneous enjoyment of things for their own sake without going into some childish fulfillment story. Oh, yes, totally, of course. Yes. Oh, yes, joy happens and fun happens and everything kind of apparently happens, just not for anyone. That's the, and yeah, oh, totally, of course. It's whole and complete exactly as it is. And this seems to include joy and fun and laughter and surprisingly, because it's for no reason at all. That's the funny thing. The person thinks it's happy for a reason. The person really thinks when there is happiness, the person thinks there is happiness because I'm on a spiritual path or something, or because I live in the right way, or because I'm doing it right. But that's just a dream. Oh no, there's enjoyment and laughter, at least again and again, for no reason at all. And not because there is someone working for it, and not because there is someone doing it right. It's a surprise. I always thought when I'm not there, being on a spiritual path, there won't be happiness anymore. And the surprise is the one who was working for happiness just died, and I still got happy again and again. It is quite surprising. I didn't expect that. I really thought that every good feeling was kind of like a medal or something that I worked for, or something that I deserved because I was meditating. Well, I wasn't meditating, whatever I did. And no, it just happens by itself. But there is fun again and again, and then there is all there is, whatever there is. It's just happening for no reason at all and completely by itself. And it is itself. Yeah. it's just not needed, really. There's just no one needing it, and there's no one suffering really when there are not happy feelings. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just it doesn't all feel spontaneous.
Again,
it doesn't all you know, everything, whatever. It doesn't feel spontaneous.
yeah, it isn't really spontaneous. It's actually timeless. Spontaneous sounds a bit like happening, as if there's something spontaneously happening, but there isn't anything happening really. So it's actually rather timeless than spontaneous, and timeless doesn't feel like anything. Yeah, of course. Spontaneous is a story.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a bit less exciting than spontaneous. So the dream is there, but it is for no one. Well, yes and no. On the one hand, one could say it like this. The other thing is, when there is no one, the dream can't be identified as such anymore. So who would know if there's a dream or not when there is no one being aware of anything? That's why there is no real dream either. I understand, one could say so. Apparently, there seems to be the illusion to be someone, but no one owns it, or it doesn't happen to anyone. But if there isn't anyone, who would know that? Who would be able to discriminate between a dream and the rest? That's the funny thing. When the illusion of there being a person collapses, there is no dream either. It's all the same. The person is the dream, is the illusion, is not real. So, Ian.
So it's like there has to be a premise that there's a me for there to be a conclusion of me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have to agree that me exists and started at some point in time in order for it to want to improve itself and become something else.
And in a way, that's the person's dilemma, that in the person's experience, I am already given. I'm already there. Whatever I think, whatever I conclude, whatever step I'm going to take, the premise, as you said, is actually the unquestioned premise is I'm there already.
But that's not always the case, though. I mean, at some point you were just an infant without thought, and all of a sudden, at some point, you became aware that you were a person in a separate space, and that's when it started, apparently, right?
Exactly. That's when this illusion started. Yeah, but only for this illusion. The thing is that even this conclusion is useless because it's now made by the premise that there is someone who is able to think it through. But yes, you're right. But theoretically, the person can also understand that there was a time when there was no one and that it's not as true as it is, but it's another useless conclusion, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost like a false logic that there was a premise that there is a me, therefore there has to be a conclusion of the me.
Exactly.
And a process, like a certain process that actually has to be in place for the me to actually exist, right?
Exactly. That's the funny thing, that all this logic that we talk about here just for fun.
Pretty much, yeah.
Are just empty stories because there is no logic at all. It can't be understood. It doesn't make sense. This whole thing doesn't make sense really, or there is no sense. Because as you said, to assume this premise, it's already all assumptions because there is no one in the first place. That's why all this operating within the dream, or the logic just doesn't work. Thinking it through, no matter how clear the concepts seem and no matter how simple the conclusions are, they are still part of the dream and useless.
Yeah, but it seems like the me suppresses that knowledge that it at one time was not existing so that it can continue.
Yeah, yes, one could say so. On the one hand, it suppresses it. On the other hand, its experience is presence. It's just its instantaneous experience of I'm there right now. Even to be able to suppress it, so to speak, it must, you assume there to be something, but it's just not real right from the start, and this isn't logical. There not being anyone isn't logical. There just isn't anyone. Poof. But of course, it's something that the me can't comprehend. But it can't comprehend it because its experience is this premise: I'm given, I'm already there. And any idea that I'm not there is just conceptual, because it can't unexperience itself. It can think about me not being there, which is purely personal, but it can't make this sense of presence go away and have a look how that is, because that's that would be the contradiction, the energetic contradiction. Presence can't be absent and have a look how it is.
Maybe that's why Eligio thinks this is the perverse meditation. Because the me is trying to get to that point where it wants to take a look at nothing. It wants to dissolve itself and take a look at that. But it can't do that because it wouldn't be there anymore. So.
Exactly. And the wanting to look, the wanting to see that is the sense of presence. This can't happen in absence, so to speak. Because this is the feeling of, but I want to see it. And it can't go beyond that, because the person is that sense that I'm looking. It can't become anything else because it is that. That's why the person will never be able to go beyond itself. Only conceptually, it can invent all kinds of ideas about reality, but the person can't go beyond this experience of I'm present, or this given energetical premise that I'm already there. It can't go beyond that because it is that.
Yeah, it just seems perverse because me is trying to become dissolved, and this is sort of a perverse sort of activity for me. It's just completely bizarre, right?
One could say so. Yes. Seeking is completely bizarre. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, it's not only the seeking to become absent, all seeking is bizarre in the same way. Seeking itself is bizarre, yeah.
Yeah.
It just becomes quite obvious in the attempt to become absent. That's where it becomes obvious how ridiculous it actually is. But the seeking dynamic itself is, yeah.
Like, who's going to become absent? And then it becomes a goal for me to become non-existent. It just becomes more and more strange.
Absolutely.
You know, it's quite funny and quite sad at the same time, right?
Yeah, one could see it like that. I know. Yes. Yeah. If it would be real, it would be really tragic.
Really tragic. I love it.
then it also looks sad, because it's this unnecessary fight for something that's already the case. And there is something sad about it, but fortunately it's not real, so we can also laugh about it a bit. Mm. Mm. Until it feels real, it is tragic and sad and scary. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But it isn't real, fortunately, so.
Well, I believe you, but that doesn't make any difference.
That's true. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah. But you too had this subtle smile on your face. See? It's not all bad. All right. Question. So ultimately, everything is whole and complete. Nothing is to be done. It's all good. Yes, absolutely. Oh, totally. Of course. Yes, that's the surprise. Yes. And you don't even have to think of a huge everything or something. No, all there is what apparently happens, and it's sitting in front of a screen. And yes, that is whole and complete. It doesn't need to be transformed into a wholeness. It doesn't have to be transformed into something that's better. It doesn't have to be made whole and complete. It doesn't have to be seen or recognized by anyone. It's just naturally whole and complete, just by being this. Absolutely, totally, yes. Yes. That's really reassuring, thanks. Yes. Yes, and it's not special that this is whole and complete. We don't talk about any artificial, again, we talked about it, but it's not about an artificial goodness or talking ourselves in some state of divinity or something. This harmony that we talk about and this perfection, it's much more ordinary because it's just what happens. It's not even extra. It's not even something that can be seen or needs to be recognized. There is no holy perfection also hovering around within sitting in front of a screen. No, sitting in front of a screen is all there is, and it is whole and complete by being itself. And it's totally whole and complete, but for no one. It's not special. All right, I think that's it. So this is all there is. There is no one separate from it. No one has lost anything. No one needs to regain anything. There's just this, and it's perfect and whole and complete and alive and vibrant and empty and meaningless and still this. Thank you very much for joining. I wish you a lovely day. Nice to see you. Thank you very much.
Bye,
Have a good
Andreas.
time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.